Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Tasha. Let's get into this. So, hi guys. I hope all is well. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. If this is your first time tuning in, hi, hello, welcome, thank you. Please get on in here and follow us on YouTube at Inappropriate Radio TV, okay? No periodic table or alien talk. However, you already know the creator came through with a message, all right? So, apparently, the creator wanted me to sit on this. He brought it to my attention, I want to say last week, a few days ago, maybe more near the end of the week, that there were a few different phases and cycles going on in the ethers, okay? Now, we have touched on the moon and the orbit, the Milky Way, the different celestial bodies, the atmosphere, as far as what research may be revealing, right? We already know we don't get everything. We get like crumbs and bits and pieces of information. We just have to work with what we have, okay? However, there has been some things going on. Okay, so as we know, Saturn is going to be retrograde all the way until November. There's a bunch of different stuff going on in the universe, right? But let's just kind of focus on the moon. I don't know if anyone has been looking, but the moon is super big. Today is actually the last day, depending on where you are. It ended last night or this morning here where we are in the Northeast region in the United States. This corridor is making it possible to see the moon in all its glory. It's really huge. It's really big. It's not all the way full, but it's really, really close. Okay. And this is basically what this whole thing even means. To be closer to the orbit of Earth, right? We already know that the sun, the moon, and the Earth have this really intimate yet almost distant relationship at the same time. It's really weird. But as we know, there are scientific and then spiritual meanings for all of this, right? If you ask a scientist what the moon means, and then you ask a spiritualist what the moon means, you're obviously going to get two answers, but I can almost guarantee that those things will counter one another in really odd ways. But I believe that you have to have a particular amount of understanding of both and an interest, and also a gift and an ability to be able to conceptualize those things in order to get it. All right. From, I want to say, the last about 72 hours, there has been rituals. Guys, remember, the moon goes through these phases and these cycles every 29 days, right? But the thing with the blue moon is happening twice a month. So within a 30-day span, you are seeing 2 full moon cycles, okay? Hence the term blue moon. You know, when you think of the term once in a blue moon, every blue moon, like, what do we think about? What do we know, right? So that is the first aspect to keep in mind, okay? Secondly, the supermoon, because we've had a supermoon and a blue moon at the same time, okay? And I really think it would be important if you guys look this up, because it's one thing to like listen to somebody explain, you know, what Google can tell you. I'm not saying anything that Google cannot tell you. That's number one. We are just making a connection between what research says and then what spirituality says. Now, I would like to point out that I have my own relationship with the creator in the ethers, right? And my interpretation of these very much scientific and bizarre events, right, can mean, and then you yourself have to have your own relationship and understanding in order to break things down. If they don't make sense to you, if you don't understand them, that's one thing. But if you have your own understanding of these scientific and spiritual, events, my aspect is just to challenge your own. Whatever your perception and stance on it is literally a side-by-side comparison, right? Because you could be getting downloads too about the same thing, but you're just not getting them in the same fashion that I would. And maybe there's a different light being shined on another aspect of this thing, right? The creator may be revealing side A to me and then side B to you, right? So let's always keep in mind that we all have our own relationship with the ethers. We all have our own relationship with the creator. We all have our own relationship with nature. But again, the stories will never conflict. Okay? If both or all parties are truly tapped in and truly taking information and insight from the creator, the downloads that everyone gets will like never be opposing. They will actually support one another, and it'll be like pieces to a really big puzzle. Okay, so that's like the first portion, right? That's the first aspect of it. Also, we need to understand that where we are right now in this whole space of, I'm sorry, I got a phone call. But even in this, aspect, in this space that we're in, where we are trying to grow and evolve spiritually, listen, you could be the most seasoned spiritualist, right? Or hierarchy person, and then a person who is new to spirituality and consciousness can get a heavy download and get it in more detail, and the creator could have given you just one little portion of that same download. Okay, so the longevity and all of that is cool, but the main objective here is to honor and be honorable, right?